Today we're going to be creating this out of these. So for this project, I'm using normal size popsicle sticks and smaller coffee stirrers. First, we're going to want to start with the base of the chair. I'm going to be cutting these popsicle sticks down to 3 inches. Then I'm using this fancy tool that can do cuts at angles because I want the back of the chair legs to be tapered. Now that the chair legs are done, I'm cutting the support for the arms of the chairs. This is going to go up through the legs and support the armrests. And I learned the hard way, I need to hold the back of the popsicle stick when I'm cutting it or it will fly across the room and hit my dog. Now this was a struggle because you guys know how good I am at measuring things. Even if I measure it once or twice or 3 times, I still end up screwing it up. So I measured this at least 6 or 7. This is difficult because the base of the chair needs to be at an angle so the seat is tilted back, but the arm supports need to be flat on the ground. I think I did a pretty good job with this cut, but now we need to move on to the seat of the chair. So I'm cutting the coffee stirrers into 1.5 inch long planks to make up the seat. So while I was measuring stuff, I thought I might as well measure out the planks that are going to make up the back of the chair. So I wanted to have kind of a tapered look at the back of the chair where it's like taller in the middle and then slopes down. So I'm cutting the tallest at 2.5 inches and the shortest at 2. Here's what the back of the chair is going to look like, and now we just need to add a brace. The brace needs to be a bit wider than the chair because the armrests are going to be resting on them. I'm adding a small chunk of wood to the top of the supports to give the arm a little bit more to rest on. When I tried building the chair for the first time, the top of the coffee stirrer was too small, so the arm kept falling. I'm hoping this little chunk of wood gives it a little bit more support. So now we're ready to start gluing in the seat of the chair. So I'm using these 2 weights to brace everything because more than once this fell down while trying to build it. So it's really nice to have everything be held at a right angle. And don't let this 5-minute time lapse fool you. Building this chair took me about an hour. I wanted to add the planks around the arm supports first because I was really hoping it would help support the rest of the chair. As you can see, the chair is still pretty wiggly, but in my brain, I'm telling myself it helped. So for this next plank, I'm leaving a little bit of space between him and his friends because this is where the back of the chair is going to fit in. And I almost forgot to finish the front of the chair. I was just so focused on doing the back. So let's add a plank or 2 to get that rounded look of an Adirondack chair. And of course this guy did not want to stay, so I just had to brace him with my tweezers for a while. Now we need to do the arms of the chair, so I'm measuring these out to be about 2 inches. So before adding the second brace, I wanted to make sure the chair was going to be tall enough. So this second brace is really what supports the entire chair back. You want to make sure that it's not too high or low and that the seat isn't too far forward. I think I did a pretty good job. The seat arms are really what it's going to hold it in place. Now gluing on the arms of the chairs, I was a little worried because as I said before, there's not much that are holding these in place and these are holding up the back of the chair, so I really had to do them one at a time. And typically I do not have the patience to do things one at a time. So the last piece of the chair we need to add in is this missing plank that was between the 2 arm supports. For this is pretty much just a pressure wedge. I was very concerned that I was going to like pop apart this chair. So I started with the tweezers, but then I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna use my hands to force it into place. So this one too, you're gonna wanna wait until the chair is mostly dry. I did end up popping the chair apart the first time trying to build this because pressure on weak craft glue isn't a good idea. But here is our miniature Adirondack chair. I just gotta wait for it to dry and then we can paint it. And here's the final look. I just went with brown because I really couldn't decide. I was kind of thinking maybe pastel colors or maybe white, but I think the natural tone of the wood actually looks pretty good. But thanks for joining me, guys. We are going to be using these chairs to build a brand new set soon. And I will see you next time.